Come back. Problem 9. Evaluate each of the following expressions. When A is 3, B is -5, C is 4, D is -6. This expression and this expression. So, you see, when I see a fraction with variables, I replace these variables. Let's look at it closely. I replace the variables by parentheses. First, replace variables by parentheses. Okay. Make sure you use parentheses. Now fill in the blanks with the values, right? So, A is 3, B is -5, D is -6, and C is 4. C is this one. C is 4. Okay? So make sure you use parentheses because that's the only way to make sure we don't make any mistakes. So this is a fraction. You need to simplify numerator and simplify denominator. Multiplication takes precedence over subtraction. So 2 times 3 is a 6 minus -5. I may as well fix that. Minus, so negative followed by a negative is a +5. Over here, negative followed by a negative is a +6 plus 4. So that is the fraction. 6 plus 5 is 11. 6 plus 4 is 10. This cannot be reduced any further, so I will write it as it is. 11 over 10. Next part. Okay, so it's a fraction. Notice variable squared, variable power 2 minus 3 times variable over negative variable power 2 plus 3 times variable. Okay, make sure you replace every variable by parentheses. Now go in. A is 3. So this one is a 3. Here is B. B is -5. So this one is a -5. D is -6. So the space inside is -6. And C is 4. C is 4. Now, okay, so this is equal a fraction. We are going to simplify numerator and denominator separately. Exponent takes precedence over multiplication. So exponent first. That's a 9 minus 3 parenthesis -5. Now here again exponent. So mind you, the square applies to the parentheses. So the negative inside is squared, but the negative outside is not squared, it stays. Okay? Negative inside is squared and 6 to the power 2 is 36. So I hope this is clear. This negative squares and you get a positive there, but the outside negative is still here. Plus 3, 4. That is my fraction. Numerator is 9 minus 3 times -5. So you have two negatives essentially. Plus 3 times 5 is a 15. Denominator is -36 plus 3 times 4 is a 12. So that is equal a fraction. 9 plus 15 is 24 over -36 plus 12. So that's a bigger magnitude. So answer is going to be negative. And the difference is 24. So eventually 24 cancels 24. So positive over negative is a -1. Okay. Next problem. Let's try. Indicate whether the following statements are true or false. Okay. So we are required to put in either a T or an F. Okay. X is 1, Y is 4. Will this work? That's all they are asking. X equals 1, Y equals 4. Does this expression when X is 1, Y is 4 give me 14? So the first one is 6 times variable plus 2 times variable. Okay, so this is the left hand side. Let me write down left hand side. LHS stands for left hand side. Okay, now I'm going to plug in the variable value. X is a 1 and Y is a 4. Okay. Now multiplication takes precedence over addition. 6 times 1 is a 6 plus 2 times 4 is an 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. Is that equal 14? Yes. So this is a true statement. Okay. The next one. Second question. Let's look at left hand side. Okay. I have variable power 2 plus variable power 2. Okay. That is X and that is Y. All right. Exponents. 5 squared is 25 plus 7 squared is 49. If I add 25 and 49, I get 74. All right. Question is this, that symbol means less than. Question is 74 less than 72? Answer is no. It is a false statement. 74 is bigger than 72. It is not less than. That symbol represents less than. So it is a false statement. Next. Absolute value. 1 times variable minus 3 times variable absolute value. So that's all I have done. Where I have variables, I've placed x parentheses. Now that is an x variable, so that's 1. And that's a y variable, so that's negative 4. Okay. So notice absolute value is a grouping feature. So I have to simplify inside. Grouping feature is like, like parentheses. You have to simplify inside first. So multiplication takes precedence. 1 times 1 is a 1 minus 3 times negative 4. So minus negative 12. All right? 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, which gives me equals absolute value 1 negative negative positive 12 absolute value, which is equal absolute value 13. Absolute value of a positive number is itself. Question is that equal negative 11? Well, I should have said that earlier, yeah, had I noticed. Absolute value cannot be negative no matter what. So this is a false. Next. So notice I'm only working on the left hand side because that's where all the variables are, right? In this case. But now let's work on the problem 4. Notice you have variables on the left as well as on the right. So I have to calculate both left hand side and right hand side separately. Okay, I need to evaluate left hand side and right hand side separately. Left hand side is a fraction. 6 times variable over variable power 2. X is a 0. Y is a 4. Okay, so it's a fraction. 6 times 0 is 0. Downstairs, 4 power 2 is 16. 0 over anything non-zero is a 0. Alright, so remember, 0 over anything non-zero is a 0. On the other hand, if I look at the fraction with anything over a 0, this is undefined. Alright, now right hand side equals negative 8xy. Negative 8 parenthesis parenthesis. X is a 0, y is a 4. Well, what happens here? Negative 8 times 0 is a 0. 0 times 4 is a 0. So overall, right hand side is 0. Left hand side 0, right hand side 0. So the question is 0 equals 0? Yes, that's a true statement. Next. Again, I have two sides, so I will work on them separately. Left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side is negative parenthesis squared plus 2 parentheses. All that is for y equals 8. So 8, 8. So that gets me negative 8 squared is a 64. Notice square applies to only things inside the parenthesis. Outside is negative. Plus 2 times 8. That is negative 64 plus 16. That is equal. So that has a bigger magnitude. It's going to be negative. I'm going to need to subtract 64 minus, I'm going to have to find the difference between these two. So I think that's a 48. All right. On the right hand side, I have negative 6y. Negative 6 parenthesis. Y is an 8. So that is negative 48. So indeed, they are equal. So that's a true statement. All right, everything is correct. So I'll continue the next problem in our next video. Until then,